used a lot of the big guns today to go for it, but I think that's the way you have to approach it. You don't want to be at the end of the night second guessing. So everybody did their job, found a way to push one across. It was a great baseball game.
And for us, obviously, had to gut it out a little bit there, especially in the last inning. It looked like he was starting to miss on a couple. What made you stick with him, and how did he get through it?
Well, it goes back to what I said. I have a lot of confidence in that kid, and he's a competitor, and I felt win, lose, or draw. I wanted him to finish that inning for sure, but win, lose, or draw, even with that inning, I was going to be comfortable with it because he's our guy.
Your second walk-off win in 3 games. I mean, just talk about the excitement this team's had lately.
Well, it's good. I mean, the emotional wins certainly in a walk-off fashion are going to do that. I was just happy for all the people that stuck around and saw the finish. I would have been really disappointed. We had a great crowd today that if they didn't get to see that. So I was happy, not only for us, but I really was happy for the fans because they were loyal and stuck it out as well.
What exactly happened at the top of the 10th where Travis was called off the bag and then it was overturned?
Just in that scenario, it's sometimes a tough angle for the first base umpire because if a guy comes off, just visually where they are, they can't see if he's on or off. And all I asked, because I had it clearly that he was on, our catcher had it he was on, and actually I ran by Sam before I started my conversation, were you on? And he said, yes, I absolutely was. And really in that, I give them a lot of credit because they have the option to get everybody together and get the call right. And I think that's what they did. We had the same scenario about a week or so ago, an umpire telling me that it was 100% right, and they never brought it together. And then afterwards, the other guys say we probably should have brought it together to get it right, and that's basically all I said is there's no harm. If he's off the bag, then everybody would see it. So please just I'll go back to the dugout. I'll shut my mouth, and I give him a lot of credit for getting the call right. That's an excellent job I think by our Big Ten officials.
How did you convince him to do that? Because it sounds like. How did you just kind of?
Well, just what I said right there. Yeah. And I think everybody has conviction in what they see, and we have instant replay in the Major League Baseball now, and I think we're seeing people miss calls. So I just appreciate the fact that there wasn't an ego involved on either side of that. That he said, absolutely, I'll go and we'll get the call right.
What I guess you take us through the last inning, basically, Milton draws the walk. Had an opportunity to send him with Clark on the single. Just what made you decide to keep him?
They were shallow. I mean, they were shallow. We had the top of our order coming up with 1 out. We were not going to make the second out play, so he would have been out by a long way. 2 outs, you definitely send him with 1 out. We still have 2 pretty good hitters coming. So,
just how big is it for Casey to get hit like that too?
That was big. I mean, and the ironic part, I had bunt on that pitch. Mm-hmm. He stepped out, called time, and. So I go, okay, well, I got to take it off right here. So, that was huge.
That walk-off hit, does that kind of ease the pain from the 9th where you had 1 out, bases loaded there?
Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't have to be a walk-off. Well, it would have been a walk-off. It didn't have to be as even dramatic as that. But, that was frustrating. But that's what I told the team was, what I was most proud of today is we had a very disappointing ending of that inning, but our guys just kept playing. We went out and made quality pitches and made plays, and that's the sign of a mature team. So I was very pleased with what they did.
What do you think of Christian today?
He threw very well. I probably could have stuck with him a little bit longer, but I thought he did his job, and I trust our bullpen. But I thought that was a quality start out of him.
And then what are you looking at tomorrow as far as the pitching staff goes?
Well, Brian Cordy, we're going to give him the ball and hope that he does what he's been doing, which is throwing strikes and pounding the zone. And Brian was good stuff, has as good as stuff on the team, so I'm looking forward to seeing him out there tomorrow.
How tough is that turnaround from Wednesday to Sunday, I guess? You feel like that's so fresh for him, I guess?
Well, yeah, because he's pretty fresh. I mean, he's about as fresh an arm as we have, but I think he's going to be excited to have the Big Ten start, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about him being fatigued. I would have to yank the ball out of his hand.
What just offensively, what made it just tough to get anything going? Obviously, like Allen and
that guy was good. I mean, he's throwing a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball, moving it around, throwing his changeup at any count for a strike. He was, I made that comment in the middle of the game. I said, this dude's as good as we've seen. So, it's tough when you don't get a win as well as he pitched. But I actually, if I'm a fan, not the coach and the opposition, I really enjoyed watching that kid throw today.